So her boss, Peggy, and Antonio are in the VIP section, getting kind of hot and heavy. They are feeling each other, like hot and heavy. Clothes are on. Again, PG-13. But someone's definitely rounding second base, if you know what I'm trying to say. Hey guys, welcome to Real Talk, a podcast where I discuss movies and TV more extensively and how art imitates life, imitates art. So it is March and the theme is obviously movies about luck. At least for this time. I thought maybe I'd go a little gimmicky today. And I put out a poll out there and you guys said, Lisa, we want you to watch 2006 rom-com Just My Luck, starring Lindsay Lohan and Chris Pine, which I've never seen before. So thank you. And guys, I'm also taking requests. So if there's a movie that you guys want me to check out and review, just drop it in the comments and I will add it to the list. All that being said, spoilers ahead. I am spoiling this movie. This is your one chance and warning. Okay? All right. Let's get into it. Okay, so we are in New York where we are introduced to Ashley Albright, aka Lindsay Lohan. And let me just tell you, the world literally bends for this woman, all right? If it's raining and she steps outside, it stops. If there's money on the floor, she will find it. If my girl were any luckier, she'd be a leprechaun. On the other side of the spectrum is our boy Jake Harden. Jake Harden, aka Chris Pine. If there's a puddle, he's stepping into it. If there's money on the floor, he's going to rip his pants when he picks it up. Okay? These people are living two different realities right now. And that's just to give you the setup. So Ashley is getting on an elevator and she happens to get on the elevator with a really, I would say the term, I guess you could say hot looking guy, definitely aesthetically pleasing, who is very interested in her. And she gets a date. But guess who he is? The son of the owner of the Boston Celtics. Go girl. Jake Harden is actually chasing down a big time exec, Damon Phillips, played by Big Worm. If you know, you know. And he's trying to hand him his CD. But what ends up happening as he's trying to catch him to give him his CD, listen to this music, he somehow ends up accidentally flashing half of Central Park and getting arrested. We jump back over to Ashley, who's at her job getting a meeting set up, and in walks the same big time music exec, Damon Phillips, aka Big Worm. She's the only one there because everyone else is stuck on the other elevator that she didn't take. So she actually has to end up pitching her idea to him. So her job is a PR company, public relations, and he's there because, you know, they're supposed to, when he's one of their clients. And she ends up pitching this awesome idea of a masquerade ball to help promote the record label and all that other stuff. And he absolutely loves it. And honestly, I thought that her boss, Peggy, was going to be uber upset about her just jumping in and doing the pitch and getting the glory. But no, she is grateful. And my girl Ashley gets a raise. She gets her own office now. And she gets a company credit card. Like I said, two different realities are happening right now. Jake is back at home where he greets his next door neighbor, Katie, who also happens to be his cousin. And the poor girl has a Mega Man toy super glued to her cheek. Not of her own volition. Bullies suck, bro. But Jake, who is actually used to horrible things happen, has a remedy. And he is able to effortlessly get it off without any issues, encourages her, and they both seem to have good spirits about it. So, off the bat, heart of gold, nice guy. All right, I see you, movie. So Ashley's back at her lavish apartment with her two besties, Maggie and Dana, and they're trying to help her pick out the perfect outfit for her date with, again, the son of the owner of the Boston Celtics. I cannot stress that enough. So she gets a knock on the door and finds out that it's her neighbor Antonio bringing up her dry cleaning for her. And she gets the idea that, oh man, my boss, she's kind of a hard ass. If I get her a date for this masquerade ball, she might ease up a bit. So she invites Antonio to the masquerade and say, hey, do you mind going on a blind date with my boss? Don't worry, she's pretty, she's successful, she's independent, you'll love her. He's like, yeah, no worries. So in the bag. The world is her oyster. Jake, on the other hand, steps out of his house, immediately gets bird poop crapped on him, and almost gets hit by a car. How is this man still alive with this level of bad luck? Jake goes to a bowling alley. Jake goes to a bowling alley. I couldn't get the word out. Where a band is playing. A very 2000s sounding band. And I don't mean that like as a diss. That's just kind of like the tempo of the music and how it flows. Just to give you guys an understanding of that. And they're from the UK. Bruv, let me stop. So they stopped playing and asked Jake about the CD. Yes, the CD wasn't Jake's music. It was theirs. He's kind of their manager in a way. Unpaid. Volunteer manager, I guess you could say. And he's like, okay, it didn't happen, but it will happen, guys. Don't worry. I got 2 reps from some other company coming tonight to check you guys out. And then he goes to work because he also works at the bowling alley. So while Ashley is getting whisked away on helicopters and private jets for her date with the son of the owner of the Boston Celtics. Yeah, I'm going to keep referring to him as that. I don't even remember what his name is. Nope, don't remember. While that's all happening, Jake is at the bowling alley getting everything ready for the band, and they start playing, and the reps from the other company are there. Yes, reps from the other music industry record label are there to listen to a band play in a bowling alley. That is very impressive. I don't really know if execs care that much. Okay, not execs, but they're obviously reps. Anyway, so they start playing and everything starts to be good. But then Jake accidentally falls back and pulls out all the cables, messing up the entire performance. And everyone's feeling it. And the reps are like, okay, we're done. We out. This isn't for us. And they jet. And the UK band is like, all right. Oh, by the way, UK band is named McFly. I should probably preface that. So the band, the guys of McFly are like, okay, dude, we tried. You tried. We appreciate your efforts, but this isn't working. It's been like weeks and weeks and weeks and no one can hear our music. We're going to go back home overseas to the UK, bruv. Again, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep trying to sneak that in. I have no good accent for any language. Not my gift. And Jake convinces them to be like, all right, guys, listen, I know it's been bad. I know, trust me, but our big break is around the corner. Just give me 7 more days. 7 more days. And if not, then you can go. And they agree. So, tick-tock, Jake, tick-tock. So Ashley meets up with her girlfriends, Maggie and Dana, to dish all about her date. Don't get excited, guys. It was super vanilla. She had a good time and they shared a kiss. And they had plans for a second date. Woo-woo! Now, Dana is convinced that Ashley has the cosmos working in her favor. Like everything just falls into place for her. And Ashley is like, no, not at all. And her other friend Maggie's like, well, kind of. Good things have always happened for you. So they go out to do a test. They make her grab a scratch off. And of course, she ends up winning $25. That's proving their point. But Ashley still shrugs it off like, you girls are crazy. It ain't like that. I just focus on positive thoughts, actions, and positivity just comes my way. Okay, Ashley. It's the night of the masquerade party, and they are loaded with VIPs, celebs, DJs, dancers, circus the Soleil people, sky people. And this is waiters on stilts. Okay, this is a very cool looking party. I will say, I wouldn't mind being up in there. It looks fun. There's even a fortune teller, which will be important later. And Ashley is decked out in this cream-colored chiffon looking dress. Very pretty. And she has this cute little headpiece that it shows her face, but kind of doesn't. So it's a little, it's a little blocked. Antonio shows up like he promised and whisks her boss away. They're hitting it off, dancing and having fun. And Jake is trying to get into that same party. Remember, this is the big time music exec, Damon Phillips, aka Big Worm, and he's got to get in there to give him the CD so that he can hear the UK band. But they are not letting him in. He's not on the list. So he goes around back and poses as one of the dancers for the party. Not that kind of dancer, okay? Get your minds out the gutter. This is a PG-13 movie. So anyway, he gets in. So perhaps a little luck is being thrown his way. He goes in the back to start changing. Ashley goes over to the fortune teller, Madam Z, to check in and make sure everything's good. And Madam Z ends up pulling a card and being like, uh-oh, I have bad news, girl. That good luck that you have, it's about to go away. You are about to experience the other side of that. And Ashley is like, okay, that's really cute. Don't know what you're talking about, though, and brushes it off and walks away. So her boss, Peggy, and Antonio are in the VIP section, getting kind of hot and heavy. They are feeling each other, like hot and heavy. Clothes are on. Again, PG-13. But someone's definitely rounding second base, if you know what I'm trying to say. So then the dancers all come out, including Jake, and they all have some kind of like black mask over their eyes, and hats. And they all come out and start dancing. Jake is able to slink away because he sees Damon Phillips. He wants to catch him. But before he catches up with him, he runs into Ashley. And he is like kind of taken back, like, oh, this girl pretty. Let's go take a dance. So they start dancing. And, they're feeling each other, the chemistry. And then there's some inside like snow, like special effects, some kind of thing that she probably orchestrated where it was like fake snow falling. And between that and the music and the setting, they kiss. A strong, deep one. Excuse me, ma'am, but what happened to what's his face, whose dad owns the Boston Celtics? All right. To be fair, it was one date. They have a second date. They're not exclusive. They just met. It doesn't technically count. But if he were at this party, I don't know how he would take it. After the kiss, Jake sees Damon walking outside and he goes to Ashley, I'll be right back. And he jets outside to catch up with Mr. Phillips. And he goes outside just in time to save him from getting hit by a car. The car, he pushes Mr. Phillips out the way and ends up getting hit by the car himself, but then gets up. No broken bones, no sprain, no nothing. What a lucky break. So Damon is so happy, so grateful. He's like, you saved my life. What do you want, man? What do you need? Anything. And Jake's like, well, funny story. I kind of have this CD you should listen to with this band that I think is awesome. He goes, all right, bet. Bring him by the studio. I'm sorry, what? You got it, sir. Inside, Ashley's shoe breaks and her dress rips. Uh-oh. So while Jake is outside having pretty much an experience of all experience with Damon Phillips, Ashley's inside getting kind of wrecked. So first my girl's shoe breaks, then her dress rips, then the police come in to the party, arrest her boss and Antonio because, spoiler alert, Antonio was an escort. And Ashley never knew. He thought she knew though. which is funny because their exchange when you first come across that is, she's like, "Oh, you have a hot day?" He goes, "Yeah, every night." And then she asked him if he was busy. So why would he have a hot day every night? Because he's an escort. But it also sounds like he was being funny, So Ashley also gets arrested because now it looks like she's basically a pimp.
A pimp named Slickback.
So she gets thrown in jail with her boss. Now, Jake comes back looking for her, but she's gone. So they were so fast. They arrested her in and out, carrying her out as he runs, and he don't even notice the cops. He's on like cloud 9. He don't even see the cops. He's just, where my girl at? Where my girl at? Then, did I also mention that Ashley choked on an olive? I almost died at the party. So I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I'm thinking their legs switched. So the next day, Jake brings the band to the studio. Damon Phillips, he's feeling it. He's like, okay, sounds nice. And he's like, all right, bet. I'm signing you guys. I love it. Here's the keys to your own penthouse apartments. Check and check. You're done. Now, Ashley finally gets released from jail as well. And she heads home. And bad news. Her luxurious, beautiful apartment completely flooded. I'm talking Noah's Ark level of flooding, okay? I expected to see animals walking 2 by 2 at this point because the amount of water gushing from the floor, from the ceiling, caving in, it was nuts. And there were, emergency crews there, fire department there trying to get things situated. And turns out she's also got black mold. So her apartment is inhabitable. They were able to save one little tiny box of stuff. Everything is trash. Furniture, everything gone. She's lost literally everything. And so my girl heads over to her bestie's house to stay the night. She's basically homeless and unemployed. Oh, did I forget to mention that? She's fired. But I mean, if you get your boss arrested, it should automatically be assumed that you're fired. But yeah, she's jobless, homeless, luckless. So she's hanging out with her besties at their house, and all she wants to do is blow dry her hair and just nestle in her little corner of the room and go to sleep. Somehow she manages to get her hair pulled out, break a mirror, get the hairdryer caught on fire, and pretty much kill the power to the whole building. So this is kind of what pushes her over the edge. She's like, okay, no, something is wrong here. I don't understand this. And then it occurs to her, she remembers what Madam Z said about her luck changing. And she's like, oh no, I got to find this chick. I got to see what is going on. So she goes and she finds her. And she's like, whatever you did, undo it now. And Madam Z's like, baby girl, I report on the cosmos. I don't control the cosmos. However, Madam Z helps her realize that the guy she kissed at the party had her trade their luck with him. So now she's got his luck and he's got hers. So in order to fix that, she would have to find him and kiss him again. Oh, easy peasy. Oof. Except for one little tiny detail. He was wearing a mask over the top of his face. She don't remember what he looks like. But she did remember that he was one of the dancers and she hired all the dancers. So she's got like a stack of like 20 pictures. And so she employs her and her besties to come with her and let's find this guy. Cue the montage. So she goes on this very gross journey, okay, of finding these 20 guys and kissing them. The first one was actually just got married. Literally walking out of the church with his bride, okay? And she runs up and she goes, Michael, and gives him a kiss. And then steps back to see if her luck changed. It didn't. And she has now ruined a marriage. Because the bride's like, was that your sister? No, baby girl. And if it was, it's a different problem. She's just going around kissing everybody, kissing all the dudes, like going up to kiss them and seeing if her luck changed and it's not working. To the point where I think one guy was in the hospital, sick in the hospital. And she kissed him. All right. I might have to just live with bad luck. I don't think I can do it. Ugh. Like, am I nuts? And wouldn't it have been easier to just go up to every guy and say, "Hey, did you dance with the lady that night? And did you kiss her?" Like, wouldn't that have been easier? Like, easier to say? Or was she worried they were gonna lie? I mean, the guy getting married might have lied. Well, he wouldn't have lied. He would have been telling the truth, but she wouldn't know. And maybe he was stepping out on his fiance. I don't know. He seems like a good guy though. Hopefully everything's all right with them. But anyway, so she goes down the list of all 20 dudes. Well, 19. She's missing one dude she cannot find. She cannot locate. And she is just down the dumps. But her friends are like, "Cheer up, babe. Don't you have another date with what's his face? The son of the guy who owns the Boston Celtics team?" And she's like, "I don't think so. I have really bad luck. I don't want to go on it." But they convince her to go. So, I mean, how much convincing do you have to get in order for you to go on a date with a aesthetically pleasing looking guy who's also rich? Not much nudging. So she goes and he brings her to an art museum, or more like an art show, I should say, where she meets his mom. Doesn't make a good first impression, though. She accidentally insults the art that his mother made, not knowing that his mom was the one that made it. Whoopsie. But then she sees a waiter there who is the picture of the 20th guy who was a dancer at the party. She goes, "That's him. Let me get to him." So she basically corners him and tries to kiss him. But he's a part of some kind of art show happening. So the lights are on them and she has to pretend like she's giving him the Heimlich, resuscitating him so she can get the kiss in. Which the guy seems to buy it. You know, her date and his mom, they seem to buy it. She kisses him, nothing changes. She kisses him and then she goes and accidentally falls into an art exhibit, getting mud all over her. The mom's exhibit. And so they arrest her for ruining art. Guess that wasn't the guy, girl. So next day, Ashley is released from jail. And so she goes to a little cafe. Like, she's still muddy and everything, got her clothes from the night before. She sits in the cafe to try to get some food, and she realizes she has no money in her purse. And so they're like, "Hey, you got to get out of here if you're not going to order anything." And she just has a meltdown. She crashes out. She's like, "You know what? You guys don't understand. I'm not normally like this. My whole world is messing up, crashing down." And you know who's watching her have this crash? Jake. He happens to be at that same cafe eating, and he sees her. He doesn't recognize her, but he sees her crashing out, and he sees her talking about her bad luck and everything, and he just feels horrible for her. So Jake, knowing that the next stop is for her to go right back to jail because someone's going to call on her, he grabs her and ushers her out to save her. Because you know what? Jake has lived this life. He knows what it looks like. He knows where the pitfalls are. He knows how to help. So he jumps in and takes her out of there. And they go sit by a park bench where she kind of tells a little bit more about her story and just like how things have just been going bad for her. She's lost her apartment, she lost her job. And he's like, "You know what? I might be able to get you a job." So he does. He hooks up with his old job at the bowling alley as a custodian. I mean, he thought she could be a waitress, but they need a custodian. So now my girl's having to just, custody. It's not even a word. At first, it's a little rough. She breaks a glass case with some bowling balls. She's scuffing up floors, but she's starting to get the hang of things and kind of just acclimating to this life of, being prepared for the worst. So one day, Jake and the band pops by, and she's greets them and everything, and then she's going up on a ladder trying to fix a light, and Jake can literally see where it's all about to go wrong. He's literally like forecasting it. So when she electrocutes herself, he's there to catch her because he knew it was coming. Because again, Jake has lived this life. He knows what it's like. he takes her to the back where like he's helping her, getting her ice and everything, calming her down. And they're just talking, chatting it up, vibing hardcore. And he gives her his lucky pack. He says, everything I've ever needed is in there. Band-aids, first aid kit, rope, whatever you need to combat the day that you're probably going to have. Because he said, I was there once. I know what it's like to have everything go wrong. So he was, just, hey, I got you. Good guy, that Jakey Jake. He gets a phone call from Katie, his little cousin. And he's like, oh, hey, Katie. No. And Ashley thinks he's talking to like a girl, like a grown woman that like he's seeing or something. So she's like, oh, well, let me dip out and leave. So she scoots out of there. So the next day they're at the studio with the band McFly. And Jake's there. They're all vibing. And Big Worm, Damon Phillips pops in and he says, hey, I love it, guys. I got you booked for Times Square. You're going to do like a venue there. And they're all excited. He goes, and I need another song, a follow-up song. And he leaves. And they're like, oh, great. The one thing we definitely don't have. Yikes. So then Ashley stops by with some food. They're vibing like normal. Everything's good to go. And she dips. And later on, it's raining outside, pouring. She's got a broken umbrella. Jake pulls up in the limo and is like, hey, I got you. Come on in. Like, Jake really, he feels for her because he's like, this was me. This was my life. This is who I was. I have to help this person. So he brings her to his house and leaves her to wash her clothes after he gets dry ones. He walks away for like 5 minutes. He's not even gone 5 minutes. And somehow she has overflown the washing machine and there are bubbles filling up the entire room. She's freaking out. Jake runs in, turns the water off, gets it going, and they have a nice little bubble fight. They're laughing, vibing again. And that's when Katie walks in and Ashley sees for the first time that Katie's not a grown woman, little girl, his cousin. So he is single and available. Check and check, because Ashley she's kind of feeling Jake. She's kind of liking little Jakey Jake. Then, Jake and her and Katie are talking, and Jake's talking about how the band needs a new song. And Ashley's like, word? I might have somebody. Turns out one of her besties is a songwriter and has a song. I think it's Maggie. Yeah, it's Maggie. So the next day, Maggie comes to the studio with the guys, McFly. She is having them, they're like singing her song. Like she sings her song to them. And they're like, oh, we love it. Bet. It's in the show. Check. Run it. And Jake is talking up to Damon, Mr. Record exec guy. And he's telling him, oh my, you're my lucky charm. Thank you for saving me at the masquerade ball, blah, 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 blah. And that's when Ashley overhears and she realizes, wait, Jake is the one that I kissed at the ball. That's him. Girl, duh. Where you been? Yes, girl, this is the guy. So Ashley's like, oh, I gotta get my luck back. So she runs up to Jake and she kisses him like a really good kiss. And then he's like, oh, word, can we do this again? And she's like, we're good. And she leaves. And the minute she leaves, his chair breaks. Damn, that was fast. So the next day, the world is back to the way she remembers it. When she does a scratch off, she wins money. It stops raining. Cabs stop for her. Everything is coming up Ashley. And she runs into her boss and Antonio on the street. Turns out they're engaged. What they were feeling that night was real. And her boss would like her back and to come work for her. So all she's got to do is come to a pitch meeting that night with her. Bet. No worries. I'm there. What are we talking about? So she runs to go celebrate with her friends. She's so happy, like, hey, my luck's back. Look at this dress I got on sale. Everything's working good for me. Let's eat. Let's chill. But Maggie and Dana are a little down. Turns out that the studio exec, Damon, is superstitious and he doesn't want the band to sing new music which is weird because he specifically asked for another song, but whatevs. Well, okay, he doesn't want the band to sing somebody else's song. Fair enough. He doesn't think it's a good omen or something. So they're not going to sing Maggie's song. So, she's feeling a little down, but she and Dana are still going to go to the show to support and, and enjoy their VIP seats and backstage, all that stuff. And Ashley's like, okay, well, you guys go. I have to go do this pitch for my boss. I got my job back now, so I can't come to the show. No worries. And they leave. Ashley, on the other hand, is kind of really thinking about it, though. She's like, if I have my good luck again, then that means Jake has the bad luck. And his band is playing tonight. Things might go bad. You know what? I need to go down there. So she catches up with the girls. They take a cab and they go down to the show. And it's a good thing because while this is all going on, they literally lost the drummer. He ends up under the stage. They can't find him, trapped under there. Guitar string like popped. Like things are starting to unravel. So as soon as Ashley gets there, she grabs Jake and gives him another passionate kiss. Let me tell you something. If I'm Jake, I'm like, all right, what are you playing at here? But I'm thinking of it from a woman's standpoint. Like I hate to put it in these broad boxes, but I feel like a guy wouldn't complain that much about just randomly getting kissed because Jake doesn't seem to have no problem. Matter of fact, none of the guys that she kissed seem to have no problem. She kissed a lot of guys in this movie. Yeah. I think 22. As soon as she kisses him, the drummer appears on stage. It's so madness. And she says, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you guys sing Maggie's song? And they're like, yeah, no bet. We're definitely going to do it now. So they go on stage, McFly, the band, and they sing in the song. Jake is backstage because again, he's just like a manager. He doesn't play. And they're singing the song. The crowd is going wild because they have sold out, by the way. They sold out this show. So it is packed. Everyone's feeling the music. It's a vibe. It's a whole vibe. So the studio exec, Damon, he goes up to Jake. He's like, I told you not to do the song, but they seem to like it. So I guess not listening to me this one time worked for you. Don't do it again. Ashley realizes that Jake having this luck, what he's been able to do with it is wonderful. She doesn't want to have it anymore. She thinks he deserves it. But that also means that she can't kiss him again because my girl is feeling Jake. Like she's into him. So she decides, you know what? I'm just going to hop the train, go back home, visit my parents, and be done with it. So she goes to the train station where, of course, as soon as she gets there, all of the trains are delayed. Dang, my girl cannot catch a break. Jake is there. He caught up with her. He showed up. And she's like, what are you doing here? You got to go. You can't. And he goes, I know who you are. And I know what everything means. He goes up to her. He goes, and I want you to have your luck back. And he goes in to kiss her. And she goes, no, you deserve it. And listen that. And he's like, if it means I have you, I don't care about giving up my luck. And they kiss. So she gets it back. Then she kiss again, and then he gets it back. And then it goes back and forth a couple times. And then Katie walks in and she's like, yo, dude, you left me in the limo. All right. I already had a bad day. Okay. There's a bunch of cool dudes over at the show that we just left and missed. Like, what are we doing? So they realize that they both don't care about the luck anymore. And they're like, you know what? Katie deserves this more than us. So they both walk over to Katie and each give her a kiss on her cheek. And instantly, my girl gives her a scratch off and my girl wins $25. So Katie's luck is about to change. Them bullies better be careful. Ain't gonna work out for them now. The luck has been successfully transferred from one to the other. And they leave the station hand in hand and kiss. Just as A broken pipe shoots water into the air. And the movie freezes the frame on both of their shocked looks as they turn to run. Roll credits. My thoughts. This was a very light, sometimes over the top, borderline campy, like little rom-com, cute little movie. And if it wasn't for the PG-13 like rating, I would be like, did Disney make this? Like, it wasn't for all the kissing, I'd be like, did Disney make this? I mean, they could have. I haven't even looked into it. But I'll be honest, I didn't really laugh at most of it, or like any of it. Like, I saw the comical parts of it, but none of it really made me laugh. It doesn't mean like it's a bad thing or a bad movie. It just, I wasn't like laughing. A lot of the things that were happening and going wrong were like situational things, like just for laughs, which is fine. But it just wasn't like it wasn't tickling my tickle bone, I should say. So now there were some themes that got brought up that I kind of agree with. At one point, Ashley talks about focusing on positivity, and Jake was a positive person. So the thing that I liked about the way that this was is that both Ashley and Jake were positive people. But the difference is everything always worked out for Ashley. It's easy to stay positive when your world is sunshine and rainbows, versus Jake, who, despite all the things that went wrong on a daily basis for him, he kept that positive attitude and that positive outlook. Maybe that's why he was rewarded with some luck later. So, and once things start going left for Ashley, she starts to kind of get a little down in the dumps. She doesn't go full on like negative, but she is definitely down the dumps until she realizes that, you know what? Life is about good and bad moments. I've had nothing but good moments, but now here I am experiencing more bad than good, but there are still good moments within the bad. So there are still things for me to appreciate and look forward to. And I think it was a good lesson for her to learn. And like, no, it's not easy to, smile and be full of positivity in the face of negativity, adversity, or even, things not going your way. But I do believe that having more positive thoughts is more beneficial for you. It may not move your mountain, but it can help you sometimes change your perspective on your mountain or your obstacles or, things in your life and how you can overcome them. And then there are just times where, you know what? A good cry will just do you right. So I do agree with the attitude and the focus. But my thing is that, like, again, your surroundings can change because there are things that happen in your life, and there are things that happen to you, and there are things that you cause to happen. And with all of that, a lot of it is, how do you respond? How do you, what do you take from that? How do you move forward or beyond, or, what does that do for you? Like, how do you take that in? And I have found that having a more positive outlook, or trying to find a positive way of looking at something, takes you further than having a negative thought, a negative way of looking at it. Because it's easy to be negative and look down and all that kind of stuff. And I do think that there is a certain level of attraction with positive and negative things. So I think that when you focus on positive, you attract more positive, or you're able to respond more positively to situations, versus if you have a negative attitude, you just negative spots more negativity. Even when something good happens, you'll find something wrong with it, and it doesn't really serve you in the long run. So bad things are going to happen to you, whether you're positive or negative. It's just how are you going to respond, which I really liked how the movie explored that and looked into that. Now, So there is the karma versus luck, which they were having this discussion before they walked out this train station where they're like, you know, how you know, we may not have good luck, but what about karma? And you know, she believes in it, he doesn't, whatever. So I do believe in the concept of sowing and reaping. You know, what you put out will come back to you, good and bad. And you know, some call it karma. I don't believe in luck. I believe in intention, but not luck. I think that there are accidents, opportunities, but I don't think like luck, you know? I think things are intentional, whether we realize or not. What about you guys? Do you guys believe in luck or karma, reaping, sowing, whatever's left? Let me know. I'm more of a fan of Lindsay Lohan's earlier work. I don't necessarily like this movie. Was a cute movie. I probably won't like return to it again. I don't think I'd rewatch it again, but I did enjoy it, and I enjoyed, you know, the messaging and everyone in it. Like I had a good time. I do think that her style of acting works best with like comedies, like rom-coms, that type of thing. Again, Mean Girls, everyone knows her for that. Even The Parent Trap when she was younger, like that, those kind of movies I really liked. I think she excelled a lot in them, and this is definitely up her alley. So I think that she did a good job here too as well. I'm not saying she can't do like a horror or like, you know, a drama. It's just maybe because I haven't seen her do that. So I haven't seen her take the opportunity, you know, I haven't seen her have the opportunity to kind of push herself in that way. So, you know, we'll see. What's some of you guys' favorite movies of her? Let me know in the chat. The comments. What are you guys' thoughts on Just My Luck? Have you seen it? If not, let me know. And, you know, is it one of your classics, one of your favorites? Did you like it, not like it? Or are you interested now in checking it out from my breakdown? Let me know. If you enjoyed hanging out with me today, please hit that like button, subscribe, and the notification bell so that you know, we can always be in tune with each other. You can know what's going on with my channel, what's happening. I also have a Patreon where I post stuff. Feel free to check it out. I'll leave everything in the links below. And once again, thank you for joining me. Any suggestions for movies you want me to check out, put in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, so later. Bye.